Hi guys, it's Rach and it is time for another round of Q&A where you guys ask me questions and I answer them. As the title suggests, it's a very obvious video. I asked some questions on my Instagram and I'm answering some more of them because I had a lot more than I anticipated. The first one is from Georgia_CS and asks, what is your favourite letter in the alphabet and why? I'm going to pick R because it is the start of my name and I like it. I don't know, I've never really thought about the alphabet and which letters are better than others, but I'm going to go with R. It's a pretty good letter. BeautySpark_XO asks, how old were you when you had your first kiss? I think I was around 15. Don't quote me on that. I think I was 15, or was I 14? 15. I think pretty sure I was 15. Those chocolate brown eyes ask, did you take a course in makeup? And the answer is no. I have never done any formal training when it comes to makeup. I'd like to maybe one day, but everything that I've learned is self-taught or from YouTube pretty much. I've watched a plethora of people, some pro makeup artists all the way down to just your average self-taught person like me and everybody in between, and that's how I've learned everything I have learnt about makeup. I also sort of pick up tips and tricks from the salespeople when you buy the makeup and from reading blogs and just from trial and error. A lot of makeup learning is trial and error. You will get to learn your own face and what works and what doesn't work, and that is how I've learnt what I know about makeup. I am not an expert by any means. Kadira118, I'm sure I'm butchering that name, but asks, how many kids would you like to have in the future? This is like a way off thing because I don't even have a boyfriend at the moment, but I think I used to say I would love to have 4 kids. I like it. It's a nice round number and I always wanted a big family. Will that happen? I don't know. I'd be happy enough to be blessed with 2 children, but 4 would be something that would be like in the back of my mind. I always said I would love to have 4 children. Silver Moose 85, hi Tam, asked, what are your future aspirations, personal and professional? This question I hate. When anybody asks me about the future, I'm the worst at sort of talking about where I want to go in the future. For me, I think in terms of personal life, obviously I want what a lot of people want. I'd love to meet a great guy, get married, settle down, have a family, be happy. But be happy is like the one main thing that I want. Who knows what I'll want 5 years from now or 2 years from now even, but whatever it is, I want to be happy. And as for professional, I'd love to maybe work in a role that's a little bit more, or that I'm a bit more passionate about. I do like my job and I love the people that I work with, but I'm not working in a particular area or industry that I get up every day and go, yes, I want to do this and I want to learn more about this. So I guess in the end, that's the ultimate goal. What that looks like, I'm not 100% sure at this point. Is it something to do with YouTube? Is it something to do with where I work now? Who knows? Of course, I do really like the technical side of YouTube and the analytical side and even just the filming and the editing and all that kind of stuff, and I would love to have more time to be able to do that in the future, but at the same time, I don't know, who knows what I want. Cindy Vanilla asks, what's your favourite place you've travelled to so far? I haven't really travelled that much, and that's one definite goal or aspiration of the future. I should have included that, is to travel. I loved LA, I really did enjoy it, particularly Santa Monica and Disneyland. So that's probably the favourite place I've travelled. The other places I've travelled is Fiji, which I do really like, and then I've travelled a little bit in Australia but not much. And I know if somebody else asked where would I like to travel next, I do have a few places. I would love to do Europe, I'd love to do the UK, I'd love to see parts of South America as well, I think, and Canada. Oh, would love it. I particularly have on the top of my list, I'd love to go to New York around Christmas time. It's something that has been on my bucket list, I'd say, for a little while. So if I could travel somewhere next, that would probably be it. But honestly, if I had the opportunity to travel anywhere, I would take it because there are so many countries that I would absolutely love to visit. Okay, I have a few specific YouTube questions that I want to answer. It's not the particular topic of this Q&A, but there's a few that I want to answer. Rosanna Kate 2224 asks, how do you manage YouTube and work? And I had this question a couple of times, how do I balance things? And for me, it is hard. It's not an easy feat. And again, I think I've talked about this before, maybe in my Behind the Tube series, but it's about prioritizing things and planning and setting out your time. I actually have, let me grab this. Oh, come on, come on. I this year have invested in a Tiffany Co planner, and I write out everything that I have going on for my personal life, for my work, if there's any like important things that like outside of my normal day job that I need to know of. If I write down what days I need to film and how many videos I need to film in order for me to be able to keep my 2 video a week schedule. Whether I will be able to keep that up at the moment, I don't know. Last year I was doing 3 videos a week, and it's definitely difficult, but planning I think is the biggest key, and allocating your time and allowing time for your work, for your family, for your relationships, whether it be your partner or seeing your friends or whatever it is that you need to do, and for YouTube. And you have to know your limitations and be okay with that. If you can only manage to film 1 video a fortnight, then be okay with that and plan for that and work that way. But for me, it's also a lot of multitasking, and sometimes going without a little bit less sleep, or I'll edit videos on the train on the way to work or at my lunch break, and that way I'm working and doing YouTube at the same time. Or at night I will have dinner with my family and get to catch up with them then, because I need to eat and I need to see them as well. And then I'll come upstairs and I'll relax and watch a little bit of TV while also editing. So then I'm doing multiple things at once, or checking emails, or it's a lot of juggling and planning. That's all I can say for managing a YouTube channel. You need to plan it, and you need to juggle, and you need to give yourself a break when you do when you fail, because sometimes you will fail at some point. You will not manage to be able to do everything at once, and that's okay. Give yourself a break when that happens. Bayer's Diaries asks, what tips would you recommend to someone who wants to start a YouTube channel but don't know how to organize themselves between baby, work, family? Thanks a lot for your answers. Kisses from Paris. So again, that kind of falls into the same things. In terms of starting out, I would actually say, I know a lot of people say start out, try and get your quality great, and try and get a schedule going and all that like straight away. And if you are serious about like turning YouTube into a career, then maybe that's the way to go. But for me, I think starting out, you should just film when you can. Start off small. Don't make it a chore. Just make it when you can do it. And if you can sit down and film a few videos at once, that is a great way to get started. I often film multiple videos, usually like a minimum of 4 videos, all in one sitting. And does that mean that some quality sometimes is a bit less? Yes. And that sometimes I get a little bit tongue-tied, and at the end of it I'm really tired. But it also means that I set aside a block of time and I get it done, and then you can juggle your other stuff all the other time, your work and your family and whatever else it is. But I would say start off small, film when you can. If you can only film a couple of videos and then you go a few weeks without posting again, it's not the end of the world. Just start off small until you understand how long it takes you to do things, and editing and uploading and all that. It's a skill and it requires time to learn. So give yourself that time to learn. In terms of how to get your channel to grow, I would say if you're starting out, maybe film, particularly for beauty videos, maybe look at filming some videos that people actively search for. Favorites videos, tags, what's in my bags, particular tutorials that people like to see, like a smoky eye or how to curl your hair with a flat iron. That was my first video because a lot of people want to know that, and it was a skill that I had. So when you're starting out, those are the things that I would kind of suggest doing, and trying to make your quality as good as possible if you can, but it's not the be all and end all. Again, plan, juggle, work around it. Give yourself a break when you can only do so many things at once. Sabita Maria asked, did you tell your family about your YouTube channel at first, or did you keep it to yourself for a while? My immediate family, I didn't outright say, you know what, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I filmed a few videos kind of when they were out of the house, but obviously they kind of worked out a little bit about what I was doing, because I'm filming at home and they're going to knock on my door and say, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm talking to a camera. So my immediate family did know. As for telling anybody else, no, I didn't tell friends, I didn't tell extended family, I didn't tell people I worked with. I don't think anybody knew about my channel for at least a year and a half. before it got going, at least a year, if not a year and a half. And I've been creating videos now for 4 years, very long time. But I didn't tell people straight away, and that was my choice. If you want to tell people straight away, YouTube is a lot more well known than it was 4 years ago, so you definitely can. Don't feel ashamed about it. Share what you want. If you share with people that you're comfortable with. Don't tell people that you don't want to or you don't feel comfortable with yet. Maybe get it going a bit and then tell them. But I, like I said, didn't really tell anybody for a while, and in the end people found out organically, and now I do feel a bit more comfortable talking about it, but I still often don't bring it up unless somebody else asks me about it. Okay, last YouTube race question, and then I'll answer a few more fun questions just to finish off this video. Willow Blossom 28 asks, do people ever look at you strangely when you vlog in public? Do you feel shy about it when you first started vlogging? Yes, sometimes people will look at you funny when vlogging. I try not to pay too much attention to them. I'll often start vlogging when nobody's looking at me, and then yes, I may walk into the sight line of other people, but I still feel nervous, and I still sometimes will start like a clip and then I'll be like, put the camera down. I'll move along because there'll be somebody there looking at me, and I'll start again. That happens quite a bit. I obviously edit it out so you don't see that, because otherwise that would make for a very annoying vlog to watch, but it does happen. People will look at you weirdly. I kind of just ignore it, and the more I get into vlogging, particularly at Vlogmas time, after like the first few days of doing it, when I'm doing it daily, you do kind of get over people looking at you strangely a bit, and a lot of time people aren't paying that much attention anyway. So you can just kind of keep on going. If you get a few strange looks, sometimes they make for a funny part of the vlog, because you get some like person looking at you like pulling faces in the background, and you're just going along talking about, I don't know, a lipstick that you just bought, and then there's some weirdo in the background who's like looking at you like you're psycho. Everybody knows that, well, anybody watching a vlog is happy about watching the vlog and isn't going to care about how people around you are looking at you, so you shouldn't care about what people are thinking either. It is hard. I do get nervous. I do sometimes feel really awkward, but you kind of just have to push through it, and I think the more that you do it, the more comfortable that you get. I always feel more comfortable vlogging when I'm with another person, just because then sometimes I can almost pretend I'm not just talking to the camera, I'm talking to them. But yeah, I do feel more comfortable vlogging with like somebody that I know as opposed to by myself. But again, that can be difficult because I don't have a lot of people in my life who want to be on camera. Which I think was another question that I might have had about how does my family feel about like vlogging at Vlogmas or vlogging at Christmas time, and they're okay with it. They understand that I do it. They don't necessarily understand why I do it, and they don't necessarily want to be on camera, but they put up with it a little bit because they're my family and they kind of have to. No, they don't, but they're nice enough to put up with it. Okay, a couple of last questions because I've been talking for way too long. Miss Melliful asks, what's the first thing you do when you wake up? Turn off my alarm, because I hate hearing an alarm go off. Actually, to be honest, I don't even have the sound, I just have it vibrate. I turn off my alarm, I turn on my light, I turn on my TV, I go to the bathroom, and then I get dressed. That is basically what I do every morning, at least on weekdays when I get up. Sometimes I will on like the weekend. The first thing I do is grab my phone, unplug it from the charger, and look at Instagram. Yes, I am one of those people. Yvette_I_M asks, would I ever write a book? I would love to be able to write a book. I used to always say I don't know how people can sit down and write so many words and create a story and have it be so amazing. I would love to be able to do it. Do I think I could? I don't know. It definitely would be a stretch target and something I would have to work on, and it's just not something that I have time for. I do genuinely love to read, but which is why I think it would be cool to actually be the author and create the characters myself, but I don't know whether I actually ever would. Britton G Land or Britton Gland asked, how did I go about researching my new car? I looked at everything. I watched YouTube reviews, I looked at like car forums, I like looked on the car websites obviously, I just did a whole heap of Google searching, and I looked at sort of every car that was kind of in the style of car that I wanted for every brand in my kind of price range, and sort of looked at what people were saying when they compared them. There's a lot of like reviews that you can find online comparing certain cars in the same class range, because obviously there are people out there who want to compare the car the same way that you can. So I read a lot. I mean, I think I was researching for at least 3 or 4 months before I actually decided on the car that I wanted, and then I still had to wait like another month for it to be released in Australia. So definitely, I did a lot of research. Just read as much as you can. Google, you'll find forums, you'll find people talking about personal experiences, you'll find actual like professional reviewers, and you'll find videos as well. And I read and watched a lot. Okay, last question comes from Rebecca Chow 13. Are you going to the 1989 tour in Sydney, the Taylor Swift concert? Yes, I am. I'm very excited. My mum, my sister and I have tickets, and I can't wait, even though it's in November, which seems like a very long time away at the moment. Okay, that is all the questions that I'm going to ask in this Q&A. I'm not going to ask. That is all the questions I'm going to answer in this Q&A. I hope you guys have enjoyed and maybe got some advice or found it useful, or just enjoyed listening to me chat about myself. I don't know. Do you find me interesting? I feel like this is a really weird thing to do, just sit and talk about yourself for ages, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. I'm going to try and do this on a more regular basis so I can answer a lot of the questions, because there's still questions that I missed. So here's the challenge. In the comments below, leave me your questions for my next Q&A. In about 3 weeks time, I will film another one and pick another sort of 10 or so questions I feel like I probably went over in this video, but I'm going to try and just keep it to a few so these videos aren't too long, and I'll answer them for you guys. So that's it from me. I hope you guys are all having an awesome day. Check out the description box for my social media links and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I will see you all next time. Bye!